It's time to rev up your engines. America's Car Show with Tom Torbjornsen is on the air on WBBZ TV. Brought to you by the AAA of Western and Central New York. Get the AAA guarantee at all Western New York Car Care Plus locations. By Napa Auto Parts. Get Napa know-how. And by Dunn Tire. Service you deserve from professionals you trust at Dunn Tire. Now, here's Tom Torbjornsen.
Welcome to the program that can be likened as into a lighthouse shining in the sometimes stormy world of the automotive, bringing those of you that are being tossed to and fro in the sea of automotive anxiety safely into shore. I'm your lighthouse keeper, Tom Torbjornsen. This is America's Car Show. Hey, I'll answer your car questions this week. And can a four-cylinder generate the horsepower of a V8? Stick around, we'll see. But first, a BMW X3 Generation 2 is the one that we go out and twist up and drive like we stole it. So we're here on location at Towne BMW again, talking with my friend Marc Minnick. Marc, good to have you back on the show.
Thank you, Tom. Glad to have you.
We're in the middle of winter, okay, here in Buffalo, New York, and BMW is a car that's engineered for winter, cold weather, et cetera, and you've got a Generation 2 X3 sitting here behind me that we're going to talk a little bit about.
What's new for 2013 is that one of the things which is now available, that is dynamics driving control. Okay?
Oh, okay.
That's where you can actually adjust the suspension, the shift points of the transmission, all of those things to somewhat custom tailor your driving experience.
How interesting. Now, something that I really like is with the touch of a button, all one has to do is, and the trunk hatch opens.
Absolutely, yes. Also, which is new for 2013, which is a standard feature, we have a power switch right here. You can just press the button here like so, and as you can see, it closes.
Very nice.
Yes.
Now, one of the things you were talking to me about was the new engine that they've come out with in this vehicle and the increased horsepower and torque.
It's referred to as the N20. And what the N20 is, it is a 2-liter 4-cylinder which develops 240 horsepower. It's actually 10 more horsepower than the previous 6-cylinder inline that was used. Now, the reason for that, a lot of people have asked us, why did we change to a 4-cylinder? Does a 4-cylinder not have enough power? Those are questions that, that obviously BMW thought of. Actually, again, it is more powerful, and it's more efficient, okay? It's more fuel efficient. This motor here in this particular vehicle right here can obtain 33 miles to the gallon on the highway.
Wow. Now,
with a 17.7 gallon fuel tank, figure you could go from here to the tip of Long Island on a single tank of fuel.
That's incredible.
That's quite impressive.
Marc, I noticed sitting right next to us is a 328i convertible, and I have had opportunity to see video of this top going down. It's a electro-hydraulic setup, and it's like a robot. It's amazing. Can you show us how that goes down?
Why, of course not.
Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. It's incredible. He sits in the car, and there goes the BMW angelic choir singing. And there you have it. Wow.
Like to go for a drive?
Well, I think we'll wait until the snow goes away on this one, but yeah, the answer to the question is yes, we will definitely put this on the schedule to drive in the spring.
All righty, great.
I want to drive the X3 now.
Well, I'm for it. Let's do it.
Marc, Minnick, and I, and the Batman, we're going out for a ride. And we're driving the X3. And it's the same vehicle, equipped the same way as the one in the showroom that we looked at. And it's got the 240 horsepower four-cylinder. We're going to see how it handles in the snow. And probably ought to turn on the traction control, right? Ah, here we go. All right. It's running on a comfort level. What's interesting is you can adjust the way the vehicle performs and rides and drives.
That is correct. That's called Dynamic Driving Control, DDC.
Okay. Now we're set on comfort, which is going to give us a softer shock. It's going to give us a softer feel, a softer ride. The suspension is going to be a little bit more dynamic. It's going to push down on the tires to keep the body stable. I mean, does that sound like
yes,
what it should be doing?
Yes, in comfort mode, when you get in the car in the morning, it will always default to the comfort mode because it's going to make the assumption that you're just going about your day-to-day activity,
okay.
Which is either suburban and or urban, and so in the comfort mode. As you mentioned earlier, the suspension is going to be a little more plush, and the shift points of the transmission, the throttle response, is going to be geared more towards giving you the optimum fuel economy. So it's not going to it's not going to maintain you in a lower gear. It's going to try to get you to your tallest gear as quickly as possible.
It's not going to be as aggressive.
Correct. And then what we might want to do is put it in the sport mode. And if you take that rocker shift there,
yes,
and you touch the top portion of it, you'll notice in your panoramic screen there, see now it says sport-oriented settings.
Oh yeah, there you go, right there. All right, super.
Now what's happening, the throttle response and the shift points of the transmission is going to allow you to go higher into the RPMs of the motor.
Oh, sure.
Before it shifts to the next gear.
It winds it out a little bit.
Yes. And of
turns
course,
into a driver's car.
Yes, and it stiffens the suspension also. You can probably feel that now.
Yeah,
so,
you can feel that.
When you jump on it now, you get like about a quarter-mile stretch right here if you want to feel what that does.
Yeah, we're flying all right. Wow. Oh, and it doesn't downshift. It stays in the higher gear, so you can hit it.
That's right.
Wow.
Now think of it that way. Think if you're traveling through the hills, you want to keep that. You want that to stay in that gear. You don't want it to downshift and lose your power.
Exactly. So you can pull through turns and you can control the vehicle better.
That is correct.
Let's try this Econo program, Marc. Now, what's that going to do for us?
Okay. Go ahead and take the rocker switch and touch that one more time. Now you're in Eco Pro. What that does is now the computer is going to monitor your fuel economy, and it's going to do everything it can do to give you the optimum fuel economy. And that's best used most specifically if you're, like, say, on an interstate and you're traveling at a constant speed, in a straight line.
Sure. That would be where you could get your optimum fuel economy.
Absolutely.
Right there. Driving your highways, going 60 miles an hour. When the speed limit's 65, I always go 60. 5 miles an hour isn't going to make a whole hill of beans, and it's going to give you that. It's going to give you greater fuel economy. I tell you, if you got a computer in your car, and you want to see the dramatic difference between just 5 miles an hour, set your cruise at 60. And then take it up to 65 and then check your fuel economy. You will be blown away as to the difference it makes. Wouldn't you agree with that, Marc?
Yes.
I'm behind a Sunday driver now on a Friday afternoon, so I'm going to go back to comfort because I can't really break laws on the show, The speedometer police, Officer DeShulo, might get upset with me. And just for the benefit of Officer DeShulo,
No speed limits were broken during this test drive.
Well, Marc Minnick, the man with the cast iron stomach, able to go through my test driving and enjoy it. Thank you so much for a wonderful, compelling experience in the X3.
Thank you, Tom. It was my pleasure.
Generation 2.
Generation 2, X3.
Outstanding. On location at Towne BMW, I'm Tom Bjornson. This is America's Car Show.